Rise Up CBUS is a new program that will feature 8 festival-style events to engage the community. Today on City Chat, Neighborhood Pride Program Manager Bruce Black is here to give us the 411 on the exciting event series.
Hey, Josie, how are you doing? Great seeing you again.
Yeah, you too. I'm excited to talk about this new initiative, this program, this like event series of Rise Up CBUS. Can you just give us all the info and what it's all about?
All right, here we go. Let me give it to you like this. Mayor Ginther did the state of the city. And we over here in neighborhoods sat down and said, well, how do we take what the mayor had put together at the speech of the state of the city talking about equity agenda to end racism? How do we tie this into something that we can get back out in front of our communities again with? So we began to formulate a plan to put together a festival style event that would be able to travel around the city of Columbus, using the guidance of our neighborhood liaisons to pick the best locations and the best neighborhoods to do it in. Once we got that information from the liaisons on what areas we should go after, we presented that concept to our Director Scott, and said, here's what we're looking to do. We used the equity agenda and the items that the mayor had talked about to be the foundation, because it's always great to go to a festival, but we don't have many festivals that don't have a purpose, Asian festival, taco festival. So thinking in the same way, we looked at the idea of taking out the mayor's equity agenda in a festival format, taking the 21 ribbons raised and using those as the catalyst for what the community could come together and take advantage of. Knowing that just that type of a festival would not give us the draw we were hoping to get, we reached out to Recreation and Parks Special Events section and asked them, what were they looking to do and how could we form a collaboration between the two departments to make this into, a type of an event that if you're sitting on the front porch, you would actually want to go see, or you want to be a part of it. The entertainment, the food, all of that right there in one location in our neighborhoods throughout the city of Columbus. The information was passed on Director Scott. She went over and talked to Mayor Ginther. It was a home run hit out of the park all the way up the food chain. And here we are today, taking this out to the field with the neighborhoods and giving them a chance to come together, enjoy some good music, quality time with each other, while at the same time having that conversation with what resources do we as the city and our support service agencies have to offer that we can help them to become a better connected neighborhoods, and they'll understand what the resources are. So that's kind of how the thing got kicked off. So festival party, information, free food, free music, what's not to be there for it.
Yeah, that's so cool. So like essentially like the mayor kind of handed it off to Department of Neighborhoods, and then you guys came up with this idea to do like an 8-part type of series.
Yes, exactly. And I tell people, I've been in business and doing events with the city for a few years, and this concept went up the food chain and back down with approval so quickly. I'm still in awe myself that we were able to put together all the right elements, all the right people to be able to take this out and have the confidence to know that we're bringing the right thing out to our neighborhood.
You did mention the raise, and could you kind of explain to us what those are? And you said that was kind of like the catalyst of all of these events and inspiration, and then also how the services are organized at Rise Up CBUS.
I want to say I commend Mayor Ginther on coming up with 21 of the most perfect things to come out and touch with our communities with. Every one of these rays covers something that will impact the personal life of every citizen in our city. So if you have a baby, infant vitality is a part of that. If you're in a neighborhood where we're looking at the concern with youth violence, we have an array for it. One of the rays addresses the violence in the neighborhood. If you're looking for a job, how do I connect with job and transportation for the job? Both of those are parts of this. If you're looking for how to resolve homelessness or to establish stability within your finances, all of that is covered in this process. So the way we structured this event was first to look at each one of these rays and say, okay, let's take, for instance, let's take financial stability as one, which is one of our rays. So within the city of Columbus, which department within the city of Columbus would be looking at financial stability? But over and above which city department would look at financial stability, what other agencies surround us that provide those services directly to the community, wanting to reach out to them and say, hey, come on, join with us and be a part of this. So what we put together is not just an event that's going to have and provide the connection to our communities, but it's also going to provide connection and resources to all of our vendors that are going to come together who may not know who they should contact in case somebody comes to them and say, hey, I've got a job, so I'm establishing my financial stability, but how do I get to my job? Well, we're going to have the relationship with our vendors who help Kogo, Bikes, Coda there to talk about how do you get from point A to point X.
You mentioned free food. Do people just come in and, it's just like first come, first serve, or is there a process?
We have a setup location, which is a check-in table. At that table, the participants, the community folks that come in are going to receive a bag with literature and information. We're trying to pull in information from all of our vendors so we don't have multiple table displays set up with a lot of different information. They can come and get the one bag. And when they pick up their bag and information from the mobile city hall, where we'll have our check-in location at, inside that bag is a passport. And that passport has a list of all 21 of the ribbons, all 21 of the equity rays listed. And we're asking the people who come in to at least take the time to visit 5 of the tables that connect with what their concerns or issues are. Exciting for me is that at the first event, we had the majority of the people that went to these tables did well more than 5. They started with 1, and then it's kind of seemed like they just wanted to keep learning as they went. So I had a couple people come over to me that had visited all the tables, and they're like, well, here you go, what do I get? And I'm like, oh, hey, you get a sandwich. But it's the sandwich. It was ideally we get them to visit 5 tables. If they visit 21 tables, thumbs up. They're well-educated individuals.
This whole concept should we just call it, the Bruce Black concept? Because I feel like it could be like applied to like future things, just like this whole, series of events, and then using all these incentives and just like spreading like, this like great like community message. Like,
I tell people I've been very blessed when I came on with the city, that when the neighborhood pride program kind of kicked off, that it became a large success, but it didn't become successful because of anybody by the name of Bruce Black. It became successful because of all of the people who came together and had that discussion, came to a common understanding of what direction we were going to walk in, and we walked that direction together. Rise Up CBUS is exactly that same thing. It was a conversation that I had the pleasure of having with my deputy director, Todd Diefendorfer. He just gave me the go gun to see if we could continue to build on it, reaching out to the neighborhood liaison, 8 of the most phenomenal people we have that work in the city of Columbus. They know everything about their communities, and if they don't know it, it's because somebody hasn't came to it and brought it to their attention. So they knew the specific locations and what neighborhoods we should go to, which would have the most impact. That gave us a location, and that gave us the what. We just needed to have a reason for that. And then here comes Mayor Ginther with a home run hit out the ballpark, breaking windshields 5 blocks away because the ball went so far, when he came up with the equity agenda and gave us these rays to build off of. And then these rays in themselves are just so phenomenal. I encourage anybody who gets a chance to, slide over and take a look at the Opportunity Rising website that the mayor's office has set up, and look at what they have there and what our goals are and ambitions for our city. Again, I'm proud to work for this mayor, and I love the job I do working for our communities. And, everybody just kind of marching together down the road makes it one big happy party over here.
Yeah, that's just such a huge success. How can we learn more about the scheduled upcoming events and where we can find out more information?
You can go to the Department of Neighborhoods website, or columbus.gov/Rise Up CBUS. That'll have the full information about the events, our locations, where we're going. We have also information on the Department of Neighborhoods Facebook page. Instagram. We have our social media platform is pushing information out in all kinds of different directions. Recreation and park special event staff are pushing the stuff out the same way. You know, hands off and a big thank you to my partners over there at special events, because without them bringing in the stage and the entertainment, again, we would have a festival. We wouldn't have a festival that's a wow festival. And what Rise Up CBUS is a wow festival. It's one of those things you walk into and you're going to go, wow, I can't believe the city of Columbus is doing this for us. And that's the bigger goal. Get our communities out, make them feel good about where they live, provide them with all of these resources and information about how they can connect some of their dots, you know, and hopefully when we look over our shoulder and, you know, another 20 years when I'm sitting at home in my rocking chair going back and forth like this, I can say, yes, we're still killing it in Columbus.
That's amazing. Bruce, thank you so much for everything, all of your information, and giving us a glimpse of like where the inspiration came from. And it's just, thank you for coming and talking to us. I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.